All right, welcome everyone to week 13 of the mentorship program. We had 2 weeks of pre-recorded sessions, 2 weeks of break, and one more week of pre-recorded sessions. Thank you everyone for your going with the flow. Things change, and it's cool that we can adapt to it. And thank you for showing up in the pre-recorded sessions. Special thank you to Jamie and Tracy and Blanca, like the people that showed up in the watch parties. Same way with the buddies that you chose. These smaller groups are really good for connecting with other people and bonding beyond the bigger group. So if there's someone that you connect with, or you know are looking for a closer connection, these watch parties, or you can even, doesn't have to be the watch party, but just like messaging someone to, hey, can we talk about that chapter from Loving What Is that I was having a challenging time with, or something like that, or I just want to talk about it. Let me turn off my notifications. Okay, so as you're all coming in, let's take a deep breath in and stretch any part of your body that feels tense. Very going along with the value of this week, the human values collective value of the week, which we're gonna see soon. Slow movement, I think. And keep stretching. Let me get something ready here. I know that I started doing exercise after like a month of not doing some specific exercise, and I kind of injured my arm. I went too hard and definitely not slow movements, and now it hurts a lot. But here we are. Thank you, Value of the Week, for reminding us of that. All right, so if you are, yeah, it's painful. Comfortable there, start closing your eyes. Use this moment to kind of imagine that everything around you is just sounds, but they don't belong to you. They're just there. And the most important thing, the most relevant thing is happening where you are in your body, inside of you. And no matter what happened earlier this day or this week, or what is going to happen next, you are here. You are with all these amazing people that are intending for your well-being, for your peace, for your joy. And that even if you're not hearing directly, people intend for your well-being. And that is awesome. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Take all the breath out, all the air out until it feels kind of uncomfortable. Take another deep breath in. Hold it for a second or two and breathe out. Put one hand in your chest where your heart is, the left side. Tap 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a heart high five. I am safe. I am here. I have everything I need. You can put your hand down. Take another deep breath in. And breathe out. Come back to your normal breathing. And you can start blinking, opening your eyes, coming back to this moment. I needed that. Holy moly. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm just like so excited to see y'all. I feel like I was happy that we were able to do the pre-recorded sessions and everything. But I was just like, how are they doing? Like I want to know. I miss y'all. So yes, excited to see everyone. Um, damn it, I want to know what y'all did these weeks. But I know that I want to cover what here you talk about your initiative, and maybe you can weave in a little bit too of how you are doing. Um, so let's move on. But yes, awesome energy in this group. So let's see what is next. So we did that. The value for this week in the mentorship program disappeared. Oh no, there it is. We're practicing the universal human value of right action through the lens of right action. We're practicing the sub value of slow movement, and the thought of the week is savor rather than count these moments. And our objective, 1 second, for this today is summed up by a quote by Carl Honoré: doing everything as well as possible instead of as fast as possible. It's about quality over quantity in everything from work to food to parenting. Take your time to do things well and enjoy every step of the journey. And here, if you are signed up for a newsletter, you can see that there is a video about the art of slow walking, and a great song by Casey Musgraves, Oh What a World, and activities, a little story. So we also wanted to let you know about our back to school annual fundraiser, which we created this event that is going to happen on August 12 in Chicago to celebrate teachers, to celebrate everyone starting school again, to really bring this energy, like hype everyone up for the amazing work they do. So it's for teachers, for students, for just people who celebrate teachers. And we wanted to invite you to this event. So please make sure you put this in your calendar. We have a generous sponsorship by See Through Equity with our friend Jamie Umansor. And so you can check this out in our email. If anyone has the link right now to the Eventbrite, please share in the chat. So everyone is welcome. There's a silent auction happening to win some fun items. So yes, bring everyone. It's going to be in Humboldt Park in a place called the Honeycomb Network, which is a really cool space in like the Puerto Rican neighborhood in Chicago. So that we're gonna have some great music, and yeah, really it's just like a hype up for school, for whoever starts the school year at that time. So there's that. Thank you, Melody, for sharing that. Let me go back here. Okay, so Human Values Initiative, as most of you probably saw in the video of last week, I talked a little bit of what the Human Values Initiative is and what you will be doing, either if you have already done mentorship program in the past or you're doing it for the first time. The Human Values Initiative is a way for you to put into practice what we are doing here. So you already have been filling out the form where you choose a value of the week and an activity and all these things. Sorry, I just saw my connection is unstable, so I hope you can still hear me. And put it into practice and really like find what is your passion and how can it merge with human values, and how can you use those two to like power up and create a beautiful thing. So I would love to invite Tracy. Would you be available to share with us your initiative? And before that, just for everyone, let's do like 2 minute max per person so that we can get through everyone. So you're gonna share what you're thinking about, what is your idea right now of what group space thing you would want to include human values in. You don't have to have the whole thing planned right now. You could change it if it doesn't work out, but we want to start nailing something down. I know that for me, I'm like, oh, I want to do it here or here. Like I have many ideas and I want to do everything. But you can't do anything wrong. And at the same time, you can mess it up. And let's just choose like one so you can start doing that. So Tracy, are you available to share with us?
Yes. So, it it was very interesting to think about this initiative. So for me, the quote unquote community that I'm going to be working with is basically just like myself. So I've been realizing that I need to apply these human values to my own life so then I can become, like a better example or a good example in order to have, the kind of influence I would like to have on the people in my life and also with my clients. So it was actually, yeah, pretty challenging and like illuminating to have to consider how I am going to apply this as like an initiative in my life. So I'm excited to have the support of the group while I start to do these things. So let me take a look. Sorry, I'm like looking over my notes. Basically what I realized is that there are some like really core things that I can do in order to basically just have like a much more loving and compassionate relationship with myself. Um, so some of those things are just like making sure that I'm getting more rest, making sure that I am eating like a more, I don't even really want to say healthy, but I would say like a loving diet and engaging in more healthy movement like throughout the week versus, kind of like isolating myself or not doing too much. Um, so I made a list of some, different ways that I can add these things into my life with hopefully without like totally overwhelming myself. And so something I appreciated is like the fact that Andrea, that you emphasize, this is not necessarily like an exhortation to like start the work as much as it is to like start the thinking process and start like working out like what needs to be worked on and what needs to change. So I basically went through and started to look at each of the different values and say, okay, well, like how, and I don't think I made it through all of them. I think I made it through like 3 or 4 of them. But just, yeah, like how does love relate to my relationship to myself? How does nonviolence? How does peace? And so it's been really interesting to kind of like start to break those things down. And I'm going to continue to just like do the journaling work because I feel like that's a big factor here for me, especially since this is just all about me. Yeah. And then a quick thing about how I am. I am not feeling my best today, you guys, but I had an MRI earlier and have had some really interesting symptoms since leaving the place. So I'm glad that I made it today, and I'm really glad to just like be with all of you guys. The past couple of weeks have been a little weird, but illuminating, and it's just kind of shown me how much how much value I really get from these weekly meetings with you guys, and like the motivation to just continue working on my mindset. So that's it.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy. Woo, so many good things there. Yes, and if before I forget, I love the power of intention when we intend for something to happen. I, as Jamie and Tracy shared that they were not feeling their best, I was like, oh, and the community thing that we shared in the HVC social group, by the way, if you want to join, that we throw this word self-care, but really it's about community care. And so I was like, oh, it would be great if we just in this moment, like you want to close your eyes or not, but just like intend for our friends to feel better, to find what they need, and just to for the healing that is happening to just skyrocket, and so that you can feel your best. So anytime we can do this, and it doesn't take a lot of time, but you could just intend for someone to be feeling the best that they can. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you for giving the opportunity for us to to show up for you both. So I love your initiative. As we said, we are this we teach by example, and we are all teachers. So yourself as your initiative is a great thing, and I see it happening as structuring in a way where you're creating those steps that are what is the word, that are challenging enough but easy to do. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I can do that every day. I can go for a walk. That's like doable. I can do that. So for like creating a structure or like a framework for yourself of one thing related to movement, to food, to whatever that you can do every day, and connecting them to the values. So I feel like that it's kind of like where your project is going in creating that structure for yourself. So really excited for that. I mean, you might just share it with us so we can all practice it. Come in.
Well, something I wanted to call out is like I was also looking at the different koshas and the ways that they also relate to the values, and like how you can apply that to your life too. So yeah, it's been really cool.
Yeah, like the structure is already there, right? It's just for us to like apply it and use that. Oh, someone joined. Javier, hola.
Hola.
Um, reading for the koshas. I guess you were just mentioning like the koshas that we've talked about in here, or are you reading something?
Oh yeah, no, I was just um basically just from my notes, like the physical, spiritual, emotional slash life force thing, because those are a good way to kind of like frame my potential action steps.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. Jamie, do you want to jump in?
Yes, thank you. How I'm doing as not feeling too well, but thank you for the good intentions. Our household has been cold turkey potty training a 3-year-old since Saturday. And I just have to say, one, I'm lucky that I get to be a part of this experience. And my goodness, my sister is extra lucky because it's me, my partner, and my mom here to help her and my brother-in-law with the potty training. So it's been a real joy to witness, though. No poop everywhere, but maybe a little bit of pee in lots of places. Now, as far as my initiative, since my communities are all mostly virtual right now, and I am still trying to reestablish various communities here in Southern California. The one constant that I've had the primary constant, the primary constant I've had outside of my personal relationship for the last 3 years has been HVC. As some of you may know, I am our board chair, and it is an honor that I take very seriously. And so I decided that my initiative is going to be pouring into our board and helping us to make sure that we are a board that walks the walk and doesn't just talk the talk. And so with my last employer, I did design a meeting template that essentially it incorporated human values and the 5 teaching techniques. And I caught it, I think it was a few weeks ago, Javi you mentioned that you would love to see me write that up. And like that stuck with me. So now I'm thinking about how can I create like a short presentation that can be shared, with whoever wants to watch it, on how to incorporate human values into like the corporate space or into a meeting space or something like that. So that way, while I'm doing this with the board and we're practicing it in our board meetings, I'm also helping to add a resource to our pool for people to use.
Amazing. I think like I don't know of any other board that does this. So this is great.
Yeah, and to speak as someone who is also on the board for the Human Values Collective and experienced the way that Jamie operates the board meetings, even before this last board meeting, it was just like, first of all, really thoughtful, really considerate of people, making sure everyone is included. I'm like, hey, there's 3 people, that's enough to vote. And Jamie's like, no, we got to include everybody. So there's a lot of love there. And then I think you explicitly brought the human values element into it, and especially in the last board meeting. And Dave and I at the end of the meeting were like, wow, I feel so good. And I usually wouldn't say that at the end of a board meeting. It really is something new and innovative. And I don't know why I just pronounced that like a Brit. And I think that if more places, whether it's a board or a meeting at a school, a department meeting at a school, operated their meetings in that way, maybe people wouldn't hate meetings as much, and maybe they would be joyful to come to meetings. So congratulations, Jamie, as someone who's experienced it firsthand.
Yes. I don't know if we froze. I see everyone is.
Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that feedback. Good to hear. Good to know that it's helpful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Good luck with the poop and pee. Andres, are you available to share with us about your initiative?
Can I listen to some more? And then I'll go. I kind of want to get some inspiration because I'm kind of
Definitely
still kind of putting it all together in my mind.
Yes. Teal, you got something?
What's up? Oh, I got something. It's good to see you all. I Melody and I are in a fun and interesting like phase of life to be thinking about a question like this because we're nomadic. We have no home. The home is wherever we are at the time. Because we're traveling and staying with different friends for the next year and meeting new people, and so I think that I could talk about how I want to practice EHV in our marriage, which is true, but like I think what been thinking about recently is with this stuff is how we encounter like the new people that we meet, like when we stay with like a couch surfing host, like we stay with like we sometimes stay with like strangers, and I think that I sometimes don't I'm not as bold as I could be in offering, I don't know, offering people transparency and honesty and love. Like we stayed with this guy in Sioux Falls a few days ago on our way out to the Badlands, and he just seemed kind of like a sad person. Like um, he in the like 2 hours that we like hung out with him before we went to bed, he drank like in front of us, like drank like so much alcohol, like, and just like wasn't like he was partying or anything. He was just like sitting there like putting him down, and I just like, I don't know, I just got the sense that this is his normal night to be like, but without anybody there. I just kind of, and I just thought like after we left, we had a fine time visiting with him, but I just thought like, oh, I could have dug in a little bit, like, and asked him more questions about his life and encouraged him, and like, and even in those small interactions with like where you have a few hours with a host, or you meet a family somewhere or whatever it is, just to like, that is going to be our community in some ways, is in this next year, is like we're these nomadic people who are going to be traveling around, and I think we have something to offer because of our what we're learning, and I think our cups are full, like, of love, and we have something to give people that we run into, and people are hungry for that realness and vulnerability and encouragement, and so I think I'm just trying to figure out ways to be that to people.
Yes.
I think about movies like, we just watched Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Has anybody seen that movie?
Oh my God, I need to watch
It's kind of
that.
like it's kind of like, or like Paddington, even like these movies, these stories where like these kind of like characters just like as they're traveling, like really impact people's lives around them just by being really kind and really like extra, basically just like extra loving and extra human, like, in a way, um and kind of disrupting people's monotony and people's like images of themselves. And I think I want to embrace that kind of energy a little bit as we travel. So I'm still figuring it out, but I think Melody and I could be a good team to do that, for the people that we meet. And so, yeah,
Yes.
that's how I'm feeling about it. Yeah,
Thank
thanks for
you.
listening.
Yeah, and I've loved the nomadic quality of your life right now in terms of seeing how that it doesn't have to be a community somewhere in a physical space that doesn't move. So
Mhm.
kind of like you are taking along with you the practice, and what I can see right now as far as structure that I it's my favorite part is choosing like 3 things. It could even be the 4 agreements if you would want to, right? But like choosing 3 things that you want to like um make sure you do with every person that you meet. And it could be simple as in like you can do it with even you just stay one night, but like that I'm gonna say that thank you, that I'm gonna say thank you, that I'm going like something that you can kind of check off as for a structure for it. And I just was talking about my parents about the 4 agreements, and I'm like, oh my God, these are so good. Like I was telling him about it, and I was like, yeah, that's such a great thing to live by. So thank you for that. All right, Victoria, I have you next here. You want to share with us?
Yes, I felt you like about to pick me. I was like, I think she's gonna say my name, and I like felt it. So hey, what's up? What's up, Javier? Okay. I also peeped the Heelys. I've got my charging right here, but you can't see her because she's peeping there. Here's my little bracelet. Okay. Anyway, I gotta focus. Okay, so my initiative that I did when I was in Mentors, was it 1 that we did it? I think we did our initiative in Mentors 1, is I wanted to create a summer day camp. And my original idea was for children. a 4-week summer intensive, a day camp, 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. And basically each week, let me kind of go back to my, that's the daily outline, but basically like each week would be like the universal human value. And then within the weeks, so like, you know, Monday, we would go over the value of that week. So like, long story short, it would kind of be like a camp of practice guides. Like, it's a summer camp, it's a day camp. So of course we're going to do nature stuff. Of course we're going to do games. Of course we're going to do like, you know, if there's a waterway nearby, we're going to do swimming and stuff like that. But the goal is to, you know, live by the value and teach all of the parts of the practice guide each day. So like Monday would be like the value and sub value and starting to learn the song, which we would do all week. And then Friday is like the big showcase where we all kind of do our different versions of the song. Tuesday's thought of the week, and silent sitting in nature, adventure. Wednesday is story, where we just have a bunch of storytelling. And practicing for the showcase. Thursday's action steps and acts of kindness, different crafts related to that. And then Friday is the showcase and family picnic. So I was thinking, I was like, well, how can I like upgrade this to some, like, this is something that I plan to do, like, you know, as a part of HVC's programs when we've got the space and when we've got the money, the funders, you know, we have our own building, we have our own like campsite, whatever. But I'm like, how can I do this sooner than that? How can I do this still with kind of within that community? And I was like, well, the people on the leadership team of HVC have been throwing around this idea of a retreat. And I was like, well, what if we kind of make it to be like some sort of like either a mentors retreat where we all get together and we do adult camp. Like, who doesn't want to do adult summer camp, y'all? That's what I'm saying. So like, it could be that, it could be a community of teachers. Like if we wanted to run the camp and invite people, like kind of like we do with our fundraiser events where we kind of invite people who aren't maybe affiliated fully in our community yet, we can do it that way. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going for, is how to kind of plan this and still make it like summer camp for adults with, I don't know, I'm feeling mentors in my heart. I'm feeling like the people who were already in this community with, like, I think we deserve some fun and some summer camp. So that's my,
I feel like you have already,
that's my spiel.
You have all these signups and you haven't even planned it. So I think it's a yes.
Yes. Yes. I got to read these comments, man. I got so passionate. I forgot that there's a comment section. Hey.
Yeah. And the trials. I love the, like, see how it works with the community and see what you want to incorporate. And I 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It just got here, but you're in it.
And you know, St. Lucia would be a wonderful place to have a retreat. Just saying, maybe not the first one, but I don't know, maybe yes. You know, there's grants out there.
I'm camping the crap out of this. Oh my God, yes. All right. I think we need an adult camp, y'all. Sounds great. Oh, mosquitoes. I'm out. All right. Thank you so much, Victoria. I think it's hit. All right. Happy to hear more about it. Let's go with Becca.
Well, to be honest, I don't really have any specific initiative. So maybe I'll just like tell everybody about kind of how human values has impacted my life over the past like month or so, because there's been a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is not necessarily in chronological order, but so I had a lot of anxiety going to like places by myself, because I don't know, I like to go experience things with people, but I know that that's not always a thing that, you know, works out. So I went to this concert a few weeks ago and it was really fun. And I was really proud of myself because I felt like even though I was by myself, I saw this quote on either TikTok or Instagram by Brene Brown, and basically she was talking about how like you should belong to yourself. And I was like, yes, I belong to myself. Like I'm at home with myself. And that was like, I don't know. I'm really on that. And then what else happened? Oh, I also had an audition like a month ago and it went really well. And I was really close to getting it. I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get it, but I was really proud of myself because I was saying the thing where my self-worth is, what is it? Ever present and unconditional. And I felt really good about like, no matter what happened, good or bad, I was like, okay, like I'm good. So yeah. But as far as like the initiative moving forward, last time my initiative was to so I work for an organization that the whole goal of it is to get kids who are in traditionally underrepresented communities ready for music school. So I tried to kind of weave human values into that. Just like I don't have a special program. That's just like where I'm coming from. It's like a lens through which I do my work. But I was also, so I have a few more auditions coming up that I'm really excited about. And I think I kind of want to see what like it could look like if I kind of did it on myself. Not that I haven't been, but just kind of like taking it a step further. Yeah, I feel like a little cringy saying I want to do it on myself, but it's also like
cringe.
I don't know. So that's what I'm thinking about. I don't have any like specific plans, but I do think about it, just as part of it's like in my like daily thoughts now. It's not like I have to be like, oh my God, I'm thinking about human values. It's like, oh my God, this is just like what I'm thinking about. And then if I think about it more, I'm like, oh yeah, those are like, where did I learn this from? Oh yeah, human values. So I'm really happy that it's one of those things at this point where it's like kind of woven into who I am as a person, which is great. There's always more work to do and always more challenges to have. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yes, I love that. And I can see how just in the organization and human values and in general, the work that we are doing, the need for testimonials slash research slash how is this work actually impacting people that's a huge need. And so I can see something really fun of like kind of like researching yourself, kind of like using yourself as a like this has helped. Oh, I'm doing this new like I'm less anxious when I'm outside. Oh, where is this coming from? And like kind of document where that comes from and how you could help someone, talking about being HVC mentors, how you could help someone go from here to there with your own experience. And so I feel like that would be a great, like, kind of like a book, HVC, ¿cómo se dice? Como manual book for yourself that you're creating that you could help other people. So like, oh, what's your ailment? No, like, oh, what are you struggling with? And so it's like, oh yes, this helped me with that. And that's a great way to help other people. So that's what came to me. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you were saying, but that's something that came to me in that moment. And that is like for us of like saying how it has helped someone specifically.
It's like conditioning not just like your mind, but like your being, as well as, practicing the notes and whatever. It's like that side, I think, especially in classical music, has traditionally been hardly ever talked about, if at all. And I just don't think that's healthy because at the end of the day, we're humans playing music. So you gotta, be responsive and address the humanity. So just makes sense to me.
And like how Melody said here, how to bring human values into performance and audition preparation, which I know you already are, like you do a lot of auditions and things like that. Woo!
Can I say a quick thing?
Dale.
Can anybody here raise their hand if you thought cringe when you first heard about human values, or like any kind of working on yourself or meditation? Did anyone have a like, ew? So There's several people raising their hands. So this is something in Portugal that someone kind of said. They use the word ick, but I think it's a similar concept of we're very conditioned to look at anything that's like quote unquote self-help is what it was called back in the day, or meditation or peace and love. I was made fun of a lot for like, oh, hippie payano, blah, blah, go back to your classroom and meditate some more. And so I wonder if there's a thought that is useful, that is everything you want is on the other side of cringe, because there's a reason we're conditioned to resist the things that will bring us healing so that we can show up and be free. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for participating there.
Everything you want is on the other side of cringe. Andres, were you raising your hand to say something? Or the
I was gonna say, yeah, I thought meditation when I first heard of it, I was very woo-woo and cringe, but now I try to do it. So that was why I was raising my hand. But I can go if if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So the last month or so has been pretty busy. Just a lot of things going on at work and holidays and different things. So it's just been kind of keeping up good habits and that sort of thing. So as far as initiative, I think the initiative is going to be basically just keep working on myself and the people that are closest around me. Mainly like my spouse, my siblings, some coworkers, some people that I sort of am as a de facto mentor to. Just try to reconnect in a way that I haven't before. Just I've always been very busy with work is always busy no matter what, and just other things, but knowing when to take a step back from that, but still make time and space for myself, and also to be there for people. For example, my little brother, he's going on 20 years old, and he doesn't know what he wants to do in school and that sort of thing. So I feel like this is where I kind of have to be there for him, to be like, hey, just try to push him and wherever he wants to go, but let him know that he should try to strive for more, not sort of underestimate himself and that sort of thing. So that's never been in that position before, so it's just that's something that I want to reconnect with him. And a lot of when he was little, I wasn't around much, whether it was me getting in trouble or in school or whatnot. So I feel like things are finally coming full circle. I'm finally just doing better myself. And now I have a much better mindset where I can be there, not necessarily to maybe teach like a program or anything, but more or less just to sort of lead by example and say, this is what I've sort of gone through, and this is what has helped me, and point them to some resources, whether it's the Four Agreements, Marcus Aurelius, or just whatever, some YouTube channel, or just being like, hey, just meditate for a couple minutes when you get a chance. The breathing will really help soothe your anxiety and not make brash decisions or lose your cool, things like that, right? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Just been, I guess, focusing on consistency and just being a little more resilient, just staying on top of what I need to do at work, but also knowing when to take a step back from that and work on myself and just be there for my loved ones. And I think once I kind of things are better there, then I'll be able to, my class will be fuller, then I can more sort of be able to reach out to a wider audience.
Yes, Javier is nodding really hard. The bed is moving like, yeah, dale.
The best thing you can do for me is work on yourself, and the best thing I can do for you is work on myself. So when your family members are seeing you, how much you're working on yourself and how much you're working to improve yourself, that is going to be the example for them more than any advice that you can give them. Still do your thing and show up for your brother and all that, but your greatest teaching is your example. That's a very classic human values pillar.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I love this focusing on the youth in a way that is sustainable for you, and that you can just point to resources or point to people, right? Like you don't have to do all the work, but like maybe create some library of what resources you can point to for when you do interact with these people. So thank you so much. Amelia, what's up?
Hello. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. So my initiative, it's a little complicated. Well, first, I feel like I need to tell you how I've been doing, and the honest answer is not great, not terribly, but not great. I'm looking to go back to school, but part of the process means interacting with my abuser again, which is obviously very draining, and I'd have to do that for the duration of the time I'm at school because that's where I'm getting a lot of financial support from, which is unfortunate. And I wanted to come here with like some program or something that I wanted to start because I have a million ideas as to initiatives in that sense. But I realized that pretty much anything I want to put into the world has to start with surviving the next couple of years. And I think the human values will be really helpful with that because it's helped me to center and focus and filter through a lot of stuff. I think I've mentioned before that I'm autistic, and part of that is that I have trouble regulating my emotions, but I find that filtering them through HBC, or rather human values, and understanding that not only am I not my emotions, but my emotions are not my fault. Like, they're not necessarily, like, I can control what I do with them, but I don't control them. And just like having that kernel to hold on to, I think will be very, very helpful in the next couple of years. And then I can get to an initiative that is a little more outwardly focused. Someday, I would like to start a STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, like a program like that in St. Lucia or maybe even the broader Caribbean. And I think centering human values in engineering and STEAM subjects is really, really important. Well, STEM subjects, I feel like it's centered pretty well in art, but centering it in STEM subjects is really important because I feel like that's something that's not really centered enough. Caring about things like other people and humanity, and frankly, ethics is something that I feel like is not centered enough, and that's how we get things like the way our data is not ours and stuff like that. So I would like to, that's a long-term goal for me, but right now my initiative is not just survive, but to thrive and to navigate the conversations in a way that is not harmful to me, and also to just dominate school, to do really, really well and just succeed. That's what that's my goal.
Dominate that school.
Go, 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 go.
I'm like dizzy right now because the bed is like, yes, I love that. Thank you so much. And emotions are messages from our brain to get us to do something, and they're not facts. They're just messages for us to move along into what we need for our body. So I love that you're already in that direction, and you are your best project. But I love all that STEM stuff. And yeah, let's keep working on that. And check out all the love that you got here in the chat. So thank you so much, Amelia. It's great to hear you. Woo! I know there's some more of us. We are hyped here. This is like the back to school event.
I'm feeling the hype.
But the back to mentorship event. So I'm gonna make an executive decision to pause here on the sharings and to go back to a little bit of what we got here. Thank you everyone for sharing, and happy to hear those next time. So what do human values mentors do? They do what you are doing. They are a person who is a human values mentor is a person who has created space in themselves to do this work so that they can show up in a better way to their community, which at first could be just by their presence. As someone mentioned here, when you go into a room and you see someone that inspires you, like that kind of like brings that calm, that you're like, oh, that person is like interesting, or they didn't blow up, like they didn't get like super upset when that thing happened, that is already putting seeds into people, and that is already doing something. So just for us to have in mind that it's not only that.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
they're back.
Good.
there's a party here. What was the last thing you heard? Espera para. Oh yeah, it's recording. See? What was the last thing you heard?
Let's see.
Honestly, it was kind of freezing up a lot before you dropped out. So I think, at least on my end, I didn't hear much of what you said.
Being the part of it is just being that presence, that working on yourself enough to be present and to be calm in the face of challenging things and be that example for other people is doing something. That's not nothing.
Yes. And so our presence, and then the ability to listen, and either, like Andres mentioned, like redirect people to resources, or redirect people to a way of thinking that could be useful. There's people who are therapists, who are counselors, who are people that work with mental health, and we're definitely not like clinical mental health people. That's not our goal here. But given that not everyone has access to these services, and that some people have that barrier of like, oh, they don't want to talk to someone, human value mentors are these people that are a closer connection with the community. Like, I would rather talk to Amelia than to talk to some therapist that I don't know, right? So it's people that you have around. And so we'll keep working on skills and kind of practice with each other of like how to listen to someone and really listen, because sometimes someone is like, oh, I'm having this problem, and then we go right away into like the solution, but how to like really listen to someone and see how we can be of service. So that's some things that we'll like polish this second half of the program, with the help of the 4 agreements that we already used, loving what is, and tools like RRT, the rapid resolution therapy, and other things. So it's kind of like giving you as many tools as possible so you can pick and choose what is like your thing. As you show up for your community, either by just being present or actually sitting down with someone and listening to them.
Yes. Can I call something into existence right now as well?
Do it.
I'm seeing opportunity in the future where the Human Values Collective is going to be going into schools in terms of curriculum and in terms of teacher training. So you're going to have the potential to be a mentor in your community and in your workspace, the way Andrea described. There's also going to be a potential in the future, should you choose to participate, to be a mentor to teachers that work in schools. What that's going to look like, I don't know if in person or on Zoom or both, but this is the future that I'm seeing, and the people in this Zoom call right now are a part of my vision for that. So just please, I'm asking you to assume your power. I'm asking you to step on your throne as the divine, powerful being that you are, and to do your best to stay on that throne, because no one can knock you off of your throne without your permission. There you go.
Yes, thank you. Let's step into our power. So, any questions, comments, anything that I forgot to mention that you would like to bring up right now? It's awesome. Youth workers, youth programs. Yes. Let me give a little bit of time and everyone, if anyone has a question or comments. Love you too. Tracy's starting a new
Physical
PT
therapy.
job next week.
Woo! Go,
Yes,
Tracy.
we can intend for you for that to go well for you. Thank you, Canva, for that flower. Oh, part-time, not physical therapy. I was already like gonna book a session with you, and it's a part-time.
It's
Yeah.
really beautiful to be with you again in person. Synchronously. Yeah, I'm feeling such good energy from you all and missed you all. So thank you for being here with us. And everyone watching the recording later, we're sending you lots of love.
Yes. So for next week, submit your value of the week. There's the link, and yes, there's the different sections, so you know what to do there. So submit that again every week. And for the book Loving What Is, read the introduction, the how to read this book section, and chapter 1. And I wanted to read to you in this last moment, apart from here, that it says this book is about the work of Byron Katie, and she calls this the work. And so it says that the work was born in 1986, when this woman from a small town in California woke up on the floor on a halfway house. In the midst of an ordinary life, 2 marriages, 3 children, a successful career, Katie had entered a 10-year-long downward spiral into rage, paranoia, and despair. For 2 years, she was so depressed that she could seldom manage to leave her house. She stayed in bed for weeks at a time, doing business by telephone from her bedroom, unable even to bathe or brush her teeth. Her children would tiptoe past her door to avoid her outbursts of rage. Finally, she checked into a halfway house for women with eating disorders, the only facility that her insurance company would pay for. The other residents were so frightened of her that she was placed alone in an attic room. One morning, a week or so later, as she lay on the floor because she had been feeling too unworthy to sleep in a bed, Katie woke up without any concepts of who or what she was. There was no me. And then all the rage, all the thoughts that had been troubling her were gone. So that's your little teaser for this book. It's an amazing thing that Byron Katie shares with us. So I hope you have the book now. Again, reach out to us if you need help with that, and be ready to share next week about that. So the introduction, how to read this book, and chapter 1. I wanted to go into chapter 2, but let's start with that so we can go through it. And would it be possible to include this link in the Zoom link you drop every week? It would be a helpful reminder. Yes, I will do that. Chick chick tracked. Yes, so excited to be with you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I intend for you to have the best week and to enjoy everything that you do, to do it with slow movement, and to have fun, as I always say. All right, everybody. Thank you, and ciao. Ciao. I feel like we're doing, never mind.
Throw up those hearts, y'all. Throw them up. Ciao.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye, Emilia.
You're doing amazing work. Congratulations to you. Very inspirational.